live at Gary, Indiana, about 30 miles south of Chicago, where at any moment, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, alongside other immigration officials, will give an update on ICE's Operation Midway Blitz, which Border Patrol Commander Greg Bavino has deemed wildly successful. And that comes despite Democratic opposition. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany here with my co-host, Harris Faulkner. Also joining us, Kennedy, host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast. All this comes as DHS is warning of unprecedented violence against ICE officers. Look at this, as death threats against them have skyrocketed to over 8,000% compared to last year. Just look here at this video on your screen. Officers are being assaulted by people throwing rocks at their heads and blocking police vehicles with their bodies and bicycles. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Meet Eduardo Aguilar, a Mexican national living in Dallas, Texas, illegally. DHS says he put a $10,000 hit out for the murder of ICE agents in a TikTok post. Some of these bounties have reached up to $50,000 for the killing or kidnapping of high-ranking officials. Here's another example. This is anti-ICE caller who wishes for law enforcement agents to get doxxed.
You know, it's always the bad guys who need masks, not the good ones. I hope every one of those lawless you call ICE officers get doxxed one by one, and they get the public shaming they deserve.
Man, well, the DHS recently put out a statement defending these ICE agents, stating, quote, from bounties placed on their heads for their murders, threats to their families, stalking and doxing online, our officers are experiencing an unprecedented level of violence and threats against them and their families. This violence against law enforcement must end. And, Governor Pritzker, he had the audacity to claim that he's actually trying to help ICE. I want to play that moment where Todd Lyons said, he's not helping us.
If you bring us a judicial warrant, we will bring you all kinds of help on the ground to go get the bad guys. That's what we want. We want the bad guys off the streets. What we don't want is for people to get racially profiled. That's what's happening right now.
Are they giving you all kinds of help there in Illinois?
That's 100% false, Kayleigh. Yeah, I really wanted to know who the governor is actually helping, because he's actually helping criminals. He's not helping us. So we've even had cases where we've had criminal warrants. You look at a lot of these cases, they talk about raids in Chicago. We don't do raids. It's targeted enforcement operations that, oh, yes, Governor, we had criminal warrants, yet you're still putting targets on the brave men and women of ICE. So it's completely false.
So I remember watching Brett's interview with J.B. Pritzker, and I was most interested in that comment because Pritzker had said that the one good thing Trump had done was shut the border down. That's it, problem solved. We don't have to talk about this anymore. But the point of an open border was millions of people coming into the country to take advantage of an incentivizing welfare system that makes it very comfortable to live here. The problem is that is unsustainable. My problem here is I, like everybody else in this country, wants bad people, violent people, child rapists taken out of our cities because they are the people, we've talked about this a lot, they are the ones who commit the most crimes over and over again, and because of Soros-funded DAs, they are not properly prosecuted. So it's the recidivists who are doing the most harm. Get those people out. If you are a rational governor and you want that to happen and you want ICE to operate with nuance, then have a conversation instead of demonizing the entire system. And law enforcement agents who are sworn members of ICE or Homeland Security, they have powers of arrest and badges and guns and a great deal of responsibility. So talk to them. If you're worried that people in your community who are innocent and hardworking are being targeted, then change the system legally, not with this radicalized emotion that they are hoping leads to murder. That is the point of this sort of radicalization. People, the girl who's running for Congress, she's radicalized, and she's speaking to people who have nothing else to do. Maybe they're paid to be there. That is the worst possible way to change the system. But Pritzker is not interested in the logical way, unfortunately, for Illinois and the rest of the country if he runs for president.